Ladies, gentlemen, folks beyond the binary, grab your husband, wife, partner, mistress, punch character actor Stephen Tobolowsky in the dick, and gather around your radio. It's time for this week's meeting of the Erotic Thriller Club.
Not rude or crude, he's always tastefully nude. In this hardcore world, he's a softcore dude. His antithesis, mysterious and dangerous. And oh yes, they've got all the sexiest movies out on VHS. So if you're fatally attracted to the racier stuff, erotic film club. Basically, instinctively crave the salacious. Erotic film club. If you want a racy movie and you're too classy for smut, erotic film club. We can watch them and discuss them all ad nauseam. Erotic film club.
It's 1992, and you're a small town girl moving to the big city. You respond to a newspaper listing from a single white female looking for a roommate. She's just gotten out of a bad relationship and assures you she has no plans of getting back together with her ex. You move in and start a beautiful friendship. She lies, gets back together with her boyfriend, and is going to kick you out of your sick new Upper West Side apartment. There's only one thing to do: ruin that bitch's life. This week on the Erotic Thriller Club, single white female. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Erotic Thriller Club. Garrett Callender and Kit Ryan here.
And this is where we answer the genre's three most important questions. Was I aroused? Was I thrilled? And would I ruin my life for this person? Garrett, I'm so glad that you saw this movie apparently from the same perspective I did, which is there needs to be justice. Justice for Hetty. Hetty? Is that the name? But it's not really her name, because actually that was a fake name.
Well, it was her name until this roommate renamed her. She gave her a different name. It's like, you're Hetty now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So-
She gave her the nickname.
Kit, I didn't know if we were going to be on the same page on this one.
It turns out we aren't on the same page. I'm so glad.
As discussed last week, you don't have a very strong sense of vengeance. And I do.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, Bridget Fonda, who is the lead, yes, caught guilty. I made the main main character the bad guy. I put that in quotes.
Quotation marks, please. Bad guy.
But
yeah,
movie stars Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget Fonda, she ain't no saint.
She ain't. No, honestly, they had to literally have the antagonist kick a puppy because otherwise you were going to be on her side completely, right? Like, did you not feel the same way?
I did, but I think the problem, and I want to say I have very few problems with this movie in general. I had a goddamn blast with single white female. I really, really had fun with this movie because as the movie starts, it seems like it's going to be a movie about a beautiful friendship. And if you cut the last 40 minutes, it's almost a lesbian romance.
Honestly, I think it should have been. Listen, am I supposed to be rooting for Bridget Fonda's relationship with scumbag Sam, the guy who cheated on her after proposing marriage? Like, no, I'm not on her side for that relationship. I don't want that to succeed.
This movie does such a good job of right at the top, like just kind of getting me full invested. Like this movie doesn't really waste a lot of time like some of the others. There's not a lot of downtime. Like each of the beats just work so well in the escalation, the setup. Cause yeah, like you said, her boyfriend is Sam, who is Steven Weber from Wings. At this point, Wings is a hit sitcom. It's been on the air for 2 years at this point. Like he is the lovable guy. He's the comedic relief on Wings.
Well, he ain't lovable here. Here he is an absolute trash fire that she should have left behind. Uh, There is no reason she should have gotten back together with him, honestly.
It's amazing how quickly, like, this movie starts with Bridget Fonda and Steven Weber in bed, and it's very sweet. They're talking about, like, if we got married someday, where would
How
it
many
be? What would we
kids will we
do?
have?
It's a real white picket fence, and you're like, "Oh, this seems like a sweet couple." And then immediately, they get a phone call to the apartment from his ex-wife in the middle of the night. They decline the phone call. They're like, We're not talking about this." She calls back. They ignore it. Goes to voicemail. She's like, "You can't just fuck me and not talk to me." Through the voicemail, and as we hear this, we're looking at Bridget Fonda's butt. So we're getting nudity pretty close to the top.
I honestly appreciated that this movie was kind of realistic in the way it shows people post coitus. Like they didn't do the whole, the woman has the sheet that goes above her breasts, and the man for some reason that sheet only goes up to the waist, and like or somehow they get out of bed and they have way too many clothes on. No, like she just gets out of bed and wanders around her house naked, which felt extremely realistic in real life to me. But yes, it does mean that she's wandering through her house naked when she overhears ex-wife say, how dare you come over and sleep with me and then not call me.
This movie is very casual with nudity. It's not always sexual nudity, but it is clearly two actresses and eventually a Steven Weber who both seem comfortable enough with it to just kind of be, which we knew that from Jennifer Jason Leigh. Like she was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, for Christ's sake. So yeah, she overhears the voicemail. And as she goes back in, and her and Steven Weber are having this fight, what a piece of shit. Like,
Mhm.
it is so funny. He's like, "Well, she's depressed, and I went over to her house."
I know.
Like,
I wrote that like in my notes. I put down the quote. She was depressed. What? And you thought that there's antidepressants in your dick? Like, was that the only way to help her out? Was to fuck her? Like
oh
he
my
says
god, can
it
you
was an accident. Oh, you accidentally slept with your ex-wife. Like we all do from time to time.
can you imagine if all got hall passes for sleeping with our sad friends and exes?
Listen, they're depressed. How else am I supposed to cheer someone up? What do you think I'm supposed to do? Send them an edible arrangement? No, it's my dick or nothing. That's the only way to cure depression. Honestly, I don't know why Big Pharma's been sitting on this information the whole time.
I mean, they know coming makes you smile. And so does Bridget Fonda, but at this point we're still on her side in the
Yes.
movie. So you're like, she's like, "I know coming makes you smile, but I am leaving
Nope.
you because this
You're out.
sucks."
Get out. This is my house. Get out. This is my rent control apartment. You're on the street. But then she goes upstairs to see her gay best friend Graham, and
Peter Friedman from Succession,
I did not
who
make
is a
that connection.
fucking babe
He
in
looks so
1992.
yeah, he's really cute. He's extremely cute, and I loved him.
Carrie
Um,
Bradshaw would have gone on multiple dates with 1992 Peter Friedman. That guy, I thought he like before you even know
she
he's a
would
gay
not
man,
have.
he's just like a
He's gay immediately. There was never any
how?
doubt. What? She basically introduces him as my gay best friend.
Like 3 scenes later, when
Okay.
she just goes up to this guy's house, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going up and fucking Peter Friedman too."
No, I thought it was pretty clear. He mentioned being an actor, and I was like, actor, New
Gay.
York, 90s, gay best friend.
Uh,
But
fair.
she's so futuristic. She's such a modern woman. She does some kind of software thing.
I love her job. This vague software job, I'll tell you exactly what this software does in 1992.
Oh yeah.
She has to meet up with Stephen Tobolowsky, amazing character actor who's usually kind of lovable, other than maybe in like Groundhog Day, kind of annoying.
Yeah, I wrote him down in my notes as Ned because all I could think of him was from him in Groundhog Day, which is excellent.
Yeah, it's Stephen Tobolowsky, and he's in everything. I mean, he's even been in. He's actually been in a movie we did an episode for but never released. So just so you guys know, there is an unreleased Basic Instinct out there. We'll redo it and talk Tobolowsky again. But she presents him with this software that basically there's a virtual mannequin and it puts digital clothes on it. That's
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
That as far as I could see, and then maybe some accounting.
Yeah, there was definitely some accounting software in there as well. I don't know if you were able to like buy the clothes online. It didn't look like that was a thing. It was just like you could put different little paper doll clothes on your on your website, I guess.
I understood her software. I didn't understand why he was buying it.
I That's fair. I mean, I did in about 1992 have a uh, a paper doll software thing where you could
Yeah.
like download the little person and then put little clothes on them, and it was great fun when I was, a small child. Um
There was almost
n-
certainly a sick pervert version of that too.
oh, there was, and I saw it.
You're like, I had it. I had
I
both.
had it. It was an accident. I tastefully always just put underwear back on them because I was a good child.
Wait, where did you have that? Where did you find it? Did your dad have it?
No, it was called Play F Kiss, and it was like I don't even remember where I learned about it, but they had like so many different ones that you could download that were from like different cartoons and anime and things like that. And so like you'd download your little Sailor Moon and you'd put on her different little outfits, and every now and then you would get one where she's got full on like visible bush and nipples, and you can put a little I just put the clothes back on her.
Wait, so
And yes, I was like 11 at the time.
this is Marry Fuck or Kill, but play F Kiss?
No, I mean that's just what the software was called. I have no idea. It was just like play. Shit, I never realized that like that is part of the title. Oh man. No. I mean like it was a perfectly normal paper doll software 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you would see weird shit. And I was able to just compartmentalize and be like, "Huh, I'm probably not supposed to be looking at that." But anyway, she's got paper doll software, not with visible nipples and bush. Sorry. And I guess it doesn't specify what his company does. I assume it's a
I assume
clothing
it's a fashion
line,
place.
fashion thing.
It doesn't really matter. All we need to know, Tobolowsky is an asshole in this movie. He treats her poorly, he's
Yep.
underpaying her,
Yep.
but he promises her that if I underpay you and you do such a good job, I'm going to get you so many clients.
What's the magic word? Exposure. I'm doing this one for exposure. Oh, that's the excuse for why you're deeply underpaying me. And they implied that like she had some sort of business breakup with another business partner, and that's why she was out on her own and needed clients very desperately. And
Which
she is
at the
new to
time
New
you
York.
assume she's the good one, but
You
he's,
should
he's
not.
gonna.
I'm convinced that it's possible that she is such a shitty friend that she fucked over her business partner, and that she got this rent controlled apartment out of the deal as part of fucking this person over. So she needs a roommate, right? She needs someone else to live with. Uh
Mhm.
and we get our little montage of possible roommate choices. And
Great montage.
honestly, she fucking knocked it out of the park with the very first one and then didn't pick her, and I am bewildered. Because
The like Rosie O'Donnell looking biker gal?
the tools lesbian is what I wrote her down in, is because she was a lesbian with tools who was like, we can fix this and this and this. And I was like, you live in a rent controlled apartment that clearly your landlord fixes nothing in because he's really hoping you'll leave. And so you get this woman in, she's gonna fix up this place. It's gonna be nice. Like, maybe you'll own an actual bed frame for once in your fucking life, you absolute maniac who just has mattresses on the floor.
That was me for a long time, like my whole 20s.
Garrett,
What? Just because I
Garrett.
don't have a fancy software that Stephen Tobolowsky is gonna try and army over.
She is a business woman. She is a professional. She should have a fucking bed frame. This is not her
Alright.
bachelor pad, okay? This is not the guy that I had sex with when I was 20 years old. She should have a bed frame.
Well, she
So,
didn't go with biker lady, she didn't go
no.
with very skinny hot model.
I didn't understand what was wrong with that one. Why didn't she?
Well,
She was too
if
pretty? Because that's all it was. Is she was pretty and she made a lot of eye contact, and apparently that put her in the montage of bad choices.
well, I mean, it honestly might have been racism because this movie is based off
Mm.
a book called Seek Single White Female Seeks Same.
Oh shit, which would rule her out because I believe she was either
She
black
was
or
black.
Latina. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but wow, I didn't think of that. My assumption is that she is an insecure person, and that girl was too pretty, and she didn't want to share a house with her because it would make her feel insecure.
Honestly, all we saw her do was not talk and make eyes, and maybe she didn't talk the whole time, and she's like, "This is just fucking
That's a
weird."
perfect roommate, Garrett. I don't know what you're talking about. Someone who's not going to talk too much is ideal.
Well, the next
Uh,
one's Jessica Lundy, who is in, like, The Stupids and Rocket Man and movies from our childhood.
mm. Is that the one who is talking about how she's in therapy and has a lot of childhood trauma that she doesn't remember, but the therapist is going to help her remember? That
One
was a
of the
weird one.
first one of the first things she says is, "I'm an incest survivor. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure it happened." But I didn't hear that on my first viewing. I noticed it on the second with subtitles that she said incest survivor because the way she's talking is very like, I
Chipper?
don't know, like it's a little too chipper. It's a little too like Gilmore Girls.
I don't know. To me, that says that she's working through it and she would actually be a perfectly fine roommate. Maybe she overshares, but like she seems to be handling her shit.
Yeah, but she just said too many things about the apartment and like
Mm.
things that were going to need to be done. I don't know. Sometimes you need to give somebody a chance, but that's a lot of baggage up front.
Yeah, and then there's the one that she almost chose, which is like lady in ankle length skirt, I guess. Like I didn't really get any vibe. I don't know why she wanted that one more than the Tools lesbian. I feel
Because
like
this lady was normcore.
yeah, she was extremely normcore, and so that was the one she was gonna pick. But then
Until she gets distracted by the weirdest photo of Steven Weber. It looks like a photo like you would have taken of your 10-year-old son. He's like hanging from the fence of like a little league park and looking sideways real cute.
I think it
And
was supposed to be like a dramatic shot, but you're right, it doesn't read that way.
but honestly, that in the 90s, that was Steven Weber's vibe. Like he was the funny guy and stuff.
Mm.
So I'm not used to not liking him, other than down the line, he was Jack Torrance in the Shining remake that Stephen
Oh
King directed.
yeah! I forgot about first of all that that even existed, but also that that was the same guy. Interesting. Um, so yeah, instead in walks the new girl, mousy little brunette.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, like nothing about her looks weird. She looks great. She seems nice enough. She's helping her.
Mhm.
She's comforting her.
Yeah, that's the
She's
thing is
crying.
she's
She's helping.
yeah, Bridget Fonda's like despondent on the floor crying and this mysterious new girl who's come in to look at the apartment immediately starts taking care of her. Like makes her some tea in a kitchen that isn't even hers and like is calming her down and trying to help her through it. It's very
Great
sweet.
meet cute with the
Very
broken
cute.
sink, water sprays all over them. They laugh.
That was another
Uh,
moment where I was like, if you had picked the Tools lesbian, this wouldn't have happened. Tools lesbian would have fixed that for you.
so you described Jennifer Jason Leigh, but something we should have pointed out immediately because when
Hmm.
this movie started, my eyes got so wide, Kit.
Mm.
Bridget Fonda's haircut in this movie.
Oh my
is the
god.
same haircut Ben Stiller has in Tropic Thunder as Simple Jack.
It absolutely is. It is the most unfortunate bowl cut that I like. You're right. I can't believe we didn't mention this earlier. But yes, our lead, who is supposed to be the extremely stylish and pretty and put together businesswoman who dresses nice, Bridget Fonda, has just the worst hair that I've
Do
ever
yourself
clapped eyes on.
a favor, Kit. Open up Google, type in Simple Jack, hit images, and just remind yourself of what Ben Stiller looked like as Simple Jack in Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god. Yes, it's even the same color. It's even the same color.
It's the same.
I yeah, yeah, it's the same.
But here's the thing, that haircut fucking grew on me as the movie went. At the
Did
beginning, I
it?
thought kinda
No,
goofy. Oh, yes, it did. It worked for
no,
her. It did work
no,
for her.
no,
You're
no.
wrong. She's hip. She's styling. She's on the Upper West Side. It's 1992. You don't know shit. You were still a little kid
So are
watching.
you.
Oh, I'm probably a little older.
Not by enough that it suddenly makes you more hip to cool fashion in the 90s than me.
Fair. Fuck you.
So yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh's kind of awkward girl, um, and Allie,
I
which is Bridget Fonda's character, is showing her around the place. Um, Shows off the laundry room, the incinerator room, which every
Kit
apartment has.
Kit
Uh huh.
is they're walking by the laundry room, and in
Uh
the background you see incinerator room.
huh.
I screamed, Kit. I screamed out loud alone watching this movie, "The incinerator room?" And the whole movie, I'm just like, "Let's get back to the incinerator room. Can't
Where's
wait for a big finale in the incinerator room."
Where's my incinerator room? Come on, come on.
Which
Oh, Daddy
which did
needs a
have a
fix.
which did have a sign next to it that said, fuck, where did let me look through my notes. Sorry, excited. Okay, so next to incinerator room, it says NYC ordinance prohibits use of incinerator. Why is she there?
Why is it? What? Uh, I'm sorry. Why did you not take the incinerator out? Why did you not lock up the room so that people can't get in it? Why did you? What? What? This unseen landlord. I have so many questions for. Honestly,
The incinerator room, guys. Never forget it. It's in the basement. The
it's
incinerator room.
lurking in the back of your mind through the entire movie, just whispering,
Incinerate
"Incinerate,
her. Incinerate her. Do
incinerate
it.
her." Okay, then we get to our first thing where I'm immediately on. I am against our protagonist, Bridget Fonda, which is Allie just snoops through her shit. She is in her roommate's room, just looking through her stuff, tries on her perfume, and looks through her clothes. She's looking through all her shit. I literally wrote
Yeah.
down which one is supposed to be the creepy one.
Well, and yeah, earlier, just know in dialogue, Jennifer Jason Leigh has already said, "You guys aren't going to get back together, right? Like, this is if I
Yes,
move in here, you're not going to get back together in like a month and I have to find a new place." She assured her that would not happen. Within
absolutely
2
not.
days, she's fucking snooping in her room, trying on
Mhm.
earrings. It's weird.
Nice roommate is like, if you want these earrings, you can just keep them. Just keep the earrings. I'm so
She gave them
nice.
to her as a gift because they
It's a
painted a
gift.
lamp together.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Don't the meet cute, the like montage of them just getting along.
She
I
takes her
want you to know
shopping and she's like, I know I, Bridget Fonda, am the stylish professional lady, and you dress like a hick from the sticks, so I'm going to
she,
take you out shopping and teach you how to look good.
she just kind of dressed like Elaine Bennis. Like there was stuff that she was dressed like Elaine. Like nothing about her seemed like she doesn't need to be a new person. The person she is fine. I accept you for who you are, Hetty, even
Mhm.
though I don't remember your real
I
fuck the
believe it
name you
was
gave.
Ellen
Hedra.
or
Hedra. Hedra
that is
is the
yes,
name she gave.
but that is the fake name that she
Correct.
gave. Um,
But her
so
chosen name, and we don't,
yes.
you
Yeah,
know,
we're not gonna use her old name that she does not go by.
we're not
She
dead
now
naming sons of bitches over here.
Yeah, we do not do that. So she goes by Hedra, and then Hetty is what our girl Allison Allie calls her. So Hetty and Allie, BFFs forever and ever and ever. Like it's sweet. You see Allie erase a message left by shitty boyfriend. And I
Mhm.
thought, good for you. Good for you. Like,
Mhm.
she doesn't need this shit. That guy kept calling and calling and calling. Honestly, it was bordering on harassment. And, like, she's trying to protect her girl from this manipulative SOB who keeps calling her. I, no problem.
Eh,
I have no problems with her.
Jennifer Jason Leigh does do something that's pretty problematic as a roommate whose name is not on the lease. Like, you can be thrown out at any point. Very bold move to show up to the house with a puppy.
Yes. And she also paid like $400 for it and then hid that receipt and pretended she got the dog for free.
So
Um
is that a bit of a red flag that she didn't adopt?
oh, good point. Maybe, but at the
But maybe
same
that wasn't as big of
time,
a thing in 92.
I
I
don't
don't know.
think
Maybe
that
it
was as
wasn't.
big of a thing. And you know, she brought home a puppy to cement their friendship so that they could become lesbians who have a dog together in their apartment in New York, and I think that's wonderful. Did she come on a little strong by maybe getting the dog too early in the relationship? Maybe, but we've all heard of U-Haul lesbians.
They move fast.
They move fast. And so
Them like
Allie's like,
rolling around in
we're
the
gonna get
bed. It's
yeah. So Allie's like, you gotta get rid of the dog. And she's like, definitely. And then, perfect manipulation moment, leaves the dog to cry so that Allie has to be the one who goes and cuddles it and makes it feel better and brings it back to bed. And so now, of course, she loves the dog. She can't possibly get rid of it. The
yeah.
dog is theirs.
And if anyone listening to this podcast is a child for some reason, just
Don't
know
be.
this same tactic actually works on any Midwest dad.
It's
Doesn't
true.
matter how much a Midwest dad says they don't want a dog. This works 100% of the time. It's actually going
Worked
to
on
be
my
their
dad.
dog after this.
Worked
It
on my
works on
dad
every
twice.
yeah. Yeah. My dad twice. Everybody
Mhm.
it's worked on everybody's Midwest dad more
Yep.
than once.
Absolutely. So, even the dog, I did not see as a huge red flag. The thing that
It's
I
rude more than
am
anything.
most confused about
Yeah.
eh, is how the fuck did Sam get back into the damn apartment?
Oh,
Why?
he says he barged in, but I mean, at this point in the movie, Hetty is very timid and shy. And like
Mm.
as the movie goes, you kind of see Stella get her groove back. But as the movie starts, she doesn't have a lot of groove, and he's pretty smooth and handsome. And I
Mhm.
don't think it would have been hard for him to talk his way into that apartment. She definitely like he says barged, and I took that as him telling Bridget Fonda like she let me in. But that was him like trying to take responsibility for like
Yes.
she didn't do this. It was all me. But I think she was just too not assertive enough to keep him out in the hallway.
Yeah, you know who wouldn't have let Sam the scumbag in?
Holy shit, Rosie O'Donnell?
Tool's lesbian would not have let him in. She would have drawn a line and said, "No, sir. You leave
Oh
this
yeah.
girl alone. You broke her heart. You get the hell out."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this scene's weird. Because Jennifer Jason Lee Hetty goes out into the hallway to give them some privacy, and the one and only time we see the grandma from Happy Gilmore in this movie is she walks by her in the hallway dressed like she just came back from a funeral. I hope she has some scenes on the cutting room floor because she didn't get a damn line in this
Mm.
movie. But immediately, Jennifer Jason Leigh, from the window she's looking out of, can see catty corner into their apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It literally took 3 minutes with this man for them to be back together. It took one conversation for
He doesn't even have that much to say. He just says that
no.
he's like, sorry. That's it. He's like, I sent
That's
you a
why
letter. Well, I didn't get the letter. Well, forget about the letter. I'm sorry. I love you. Oh, okay.
we've all had a friend though, right? That like just takes somebody back too quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
now you are stuck with having to see this person more times
Oh,
and
it is.
pretend like
Especially because you were the one who had to be there while your friend was heartbroken and tell her over and over again, he's such a piece of shit. You can do so much better. And you spent all this time hyping her up to make her feel better. And you were reiterating what a scumbag he is. And now, after you've spent weeks calling this dude a piece of shit, now she is back together with him. And you're supposed to what? Just accept it? You're supposed to just be okay with it after you saw how distraught she was. You were the one who had to pick up the pieces as the best friend. You had to deal with it. You had to take care of her. Where was he? Off fucking somebody else probably. And he just waltzes
fucking a
in.
sad person,
Yeah, you know
which
what?
is
I
which is
forgot that that's actually community service.
yeah, that's you fuck a sad person, you actually go to heaven.
I
I
have
think if you believe
abs
in it, that's yeah.
Yeah, I've abso-fucking-lutely been the friend in Jennifer Jason Leigh's place. And it is if my housing situation was also in the balance, I cannot imagine how fucking pissed and upset I would be about this because like
It's been
you
a
did all
month.
you did all of this to help her, right? And then she's just going to kick your ass out and take back the scumbag who cheated on her after he what? Said sorry? You bought her a puppy. Did he buy her a puppy? No, he did not.
But he does take her back to his place and have sex with her.
Well,
Or
and thank
I
God
couldn't
there's
tell if they go
Prozac in
back
his
to
dick.
do they I couldn't tell if they go back to her place or the gay best friend's place, cuz she's watching his cat and stuff. So they
It
they
was
may have just gone
unclear,
upstairs.
but
Doesn't
she's
really
definitely
matter.
in
She
somewhere else having sex with him, and Hetty is left alone with the dog.
eating a pint of ice cream, being
Mhm.
pissed, kicks the dog. And this is the first like twinge of like, oh no.
Oh, I'm not supposed to like her. She kicked a puppy. But if you cut
D-
out the things she does to the dog, she is a perfectly correct, aggrieved party who has every right to be upset. Every right. She has done nothing wrong.
the second we see Bridget Fonda and Steven Weber fuck, I out loud again said, kill them, Hattie. Kill them both.
And she rightly points out later, like, you told me you weren't going to get back together with him and that my living situation was secure. You promised me that. And Bridget Fonda has the gall to be like, why are you so mad?
Not only are they back together, this 3-minute apology led to a night of fucking and them getting engaged.
Yeah, she puts the ring back on. She puts the ring back on. And
It's
she's like, yep, now we're
insane.
engaged again.
Like, she is unwell. She is unwell. And I guess that's probably why Steven Weber is having sex with her.
So yeah, Hetty's sitting in Allie's room in the dark with the dog, and is like, "Where the hell were you?" And this is another time when we're supposed to be, I guess, on Allie's Bridget Fonda's side, being like, "What the fuck are you doing sitting in my room in the dark with the dog, like monitoring how long I've been gone?" But hey, girls look out for girls. If my roommate was gone for 24 hours with a man that I knew had been stalking and harassing her, I would also be worried. I would also be worried, and I would be pissed that she didn't even think to call to let me know she was alive. Like, that's completely legit.
I am guilty of I had a friend who was in college, was missing, and we would check in, and I couldn't get a hold of her. So I'm like calling all of our mutual friends, trying to like, where is this person? Where is she? And I'm driving around, and it turned out she had spent the evening with somebody I didn't know about. So really all
Mm.
that let I did was like put on a community bulletin board like they are fucking. uh so what started as a good deed ended up as I don't know who I was in that situation. I guess I'm I was kind of the heel and the baby face. I don't know.
The point is that you were trying to make sure someone's not dead. And that does not make you a bad person, okay? Like, she's not a bad person for worrying that her roommate was gone for 24 hours with no fucking, like, call or notice, with, by the way, a man you do not trust.
I think like it would be a shame if we breeze over one of the couple actual sex scenes in this movie and not
Mm.
kind of give the people, because to this point we've seen Jennifer Jason Leigh naked a couple times that we haven't even mentioned. She is
Yeah, that's
very
true. She
casually naked a
changes.
lot.
She changes in front of Allie very
Takes a
comfortably.
bath. Uh,
Yep.
but this is like we see Bridget Fonda writing Steven Weber. It's a very short
Mhm.
scene, so not a lot to write home about there as far as the eroticism. It looked like they're having fun though, but
Did the
to
sex
be
look good enough to get back together with him and accept his engagement?
I don't know if I could get past the bowl cut.
I said, is the sex good enough for her to take him back, not the other way around?
I guess like I was more worried about him and his performance. Like I'm guessing his ex doesn't have a bowl cut.
You think that's why he cheated on
Yeah, he can't tell her that bowl cut kind of sucks.
her? Was he hoping that after like a month it had grown out?
I don't know what you do with that to fix it.
Uh, wear hats. You wear hats until it grows back.
It's like not necessarily a mullet, but it is longer in the back.
It is longer in the back. It like peeks out from the bowl in the back. It's not.
That's gonna
It's
take
not
points
good.
off on the eroticism. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now. I think that I mean she has the same haircut as my child. L-
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And I also hope he doesn't have that when he's 30.
I mean, same, but also it would probably still look better on her than on him. Like you're the one who said you got used to it, and you're the one who said
Yeah.
that it grew on you.
Well, okay. But the most erotic scene in the movie does come up. Steven Weber's sleeping over. They had been having sex. Bridget Fonda walks out of the room.
Hmm.
She hears a noise.
Hmm.
And Jennifer Jason Leigh is having her way with herself.
Yeah, she's masturbating, and
And
again, I
with
wrote
the door
down
open.
which of you is the weird one. You're the one who went and secretly watched your roommate masturbate. She stood there for a while.
Open door
She's
policy, though. Like, the
Garrett,
door's open. You got to
that's not how that
just.
works. No, no, Garrett.
Mm,
No, Garrett,
mm.
that's not Garrett, that's not how consent works.
If we are roommates and I am
Mhm.
open door masturbating, you can
I'm gonna
stand there
give
and look
you
at me as long as you want.
see,
Because it is
I
my job to close that door.
no, no. I would say if the door is open, you can be forgiven for a short, accidental, a whoopsie. Look. You do not get to stand there as long as you want, Garrett. That is not how that works.
Arabella Black Angel taught me otherwise. Mama
It's not
watched for like 3 minutes as her
and
wheelchair
it
son.
wasn't cool when mom did it either. It
It
was
was
very
worse when mom did
uncool.
it, but that's what I'm saying. Like a roommate's like, honestly, if one of my roommates in college had been masturbating with the door open, I might have leaned in the doorway and just stood there and watched until they noticed I was there, so that they'd be like, ah.
Garrett, I think that makes you the bad person. They are guilty. No, no, they are guilty of a simple error, of a mistake. You are
I'm a bad
guilty
roommate.
of voyeurism.
Ooh, Just like that man in Body Double.
Yeah,
He went on a
just like
journey.
yeah, I didn't like it when he did it either.
And you know what? You watch somebody masturbate, it leads to ghouls.
You know who else loves to watch other people masturbate? Ghouls. Are you a
I
ghoul,
always
Garrett?
I always assume that there is some sort of spirit watching me as I do it.
Yes, it's God, and he's disappointed. He knows what you're doing in there. Okay, so Allie's the one who's acting weird in the morning because she saw Hetty masturbating. And again, like Hetty's acting completely normal. She's chatting with scumbag Sam. She's like making everybody breakfast, and Allie's the one being weird, like she had caught Hetty doing something wrong somehow.
Are we still calling him Scumbag Sam? I thought we established that he's doing community work.
Okay,
Like,
sorry,
this might
community
even be
service
considered
Sam.
philanthropy. He might get tax breaks for what
Mm,
he's doing at this rate.
yeah, actually, all of those condoms are in fact tax exempt. You can write it off. So yeah,
uh,
I guess we're calling him a philanthropist Sam.
ribbed for Uncle Sam's pleasure.
um. So then she throws the dog out the window.
Kit, this is insane. At this point in the movie, I'm just like, I am sitting here, I'm like, Hetty, I'm thinking of ways we can start ruining these people's lives. And
You're already
we're
plotting.
I'm
Why do
already
you want?
plotting. We're gonna start small, like really annoying roommate shit. But we're
mm,
gonna do a slow build and escalate until these people are insane. And Hetty
mm,
really here's the thing, like as I'm telling her to do things, I realized I didn't set the parameters for her in my mind as to where to start. So
mm-hmm.
I felt a little responsible of how quickly we escalated, which was
Garrett, did you?
throw a puppy off the 12th floor of a building. That
And
dog splats. It is a cute puppy.
it's
Kit, do you want to know
really
something?
cute.
Kit, I'm going to
What?
tell you something insane. And
Okay.
I don't so this movie is based off of a book by
Mm-hmm.
John Lutz. But the other writer of this movie of the screenplay is Don Ruse, who wrote the screenplay for Marley and Me.
No, that man, that man killed a puppy.
He killed 2 puppies. 2. Marley looked the same as this dog. He
It's
killed
that's.
both of those dogs.
Do you think this is where he got the idea?
I think that it was not that far in the back of his mind as he was writing Marley and Me. He's like, "You know what really upset people in my fucking movie?" No,
It is such a, you're correct, huge escalation.
too
And
big.
it's far too big. And she's like trying to blame it on the fiance cuz he didn't fix like the
Like
part of the window that the dog fell out of. It's stupid. It's
like
just stupid.
the way she gradually starts to escalate, it seems like a lot of these things could have come first. Like where she starts dressing the same as her roommate, gradually buying more clothes that make her look like the roommate. This though seemed like killing the dog was a way for her to like initiate contact with Steven Weber because like the end result of this
Oh, she's trying to
because
get
when she,
sympathy from the fiance and be like, "Oh, I'm so sad and it's all my fault." And then like she's clearly trying to get him to like kiss her and
yeah,
he
killed the
does not.
dog, fuck Steven Weber, cut his dick off. That it would have been like the end of my escalation if we were going high.
Garrett! Garrett, I love you. There's no form of revenge that should start with killing a dog.
Well, I'm saying like dress the same was first. You know,
Oh,
I'm saying, like,
feeling
you
the tong
start
should
weird.
come later.
It's the third to last escalation.
Oh my
She
god, so,
she skipped, like, 19 steps.
there's so many steps.
Like, she skipped, like, drink most of the milk and put it back in the fridge with, like, just a half inch left. Like,
Or,
that is yeah.
like in 9.5 weeks, you just cover the floor in honey.
Yeah, that was terrible roommate shit.
That's terrible roommate shit.
That would've
Um,
been perfectly fine.
so yeah, Allie realizes that this girl's been buying identical clothes to her, and it freaks her
Mhm.
out a little bit. But like, I don't feel like it should really. I mean, yeah, it's a little annoying when somebody's copying your style, but you were the one who specifically were like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna help you level up your style game," and she doesn't know a lot about how to dress chic for New York, and so uh
Yeah, you
I was
took the
totally
country
there with
bumpkin
her.
shopping. Of
And
course
you're
she's gonna go shop at the place
surprised?
you took her.
Yeah. She's dressing like you because that's how you taught her to dress. And I want to point out another thing of another
Mhm.
example of Allie being a really shit friend. After Hetty is like, "You promised you weren't going to get back with this guy and leave me out on the fucking street." She also says, "And you're in a different league than me. Like, you're so beautiful and I'm nothing." And Allie says fucking nothing.
That's fine.
No,
Yes,
no.
it
This girl
is.
is so upset and she's very pretty. And you didn't say, "No, come on, girl, you're really pretty."
Maybe she's not good at handling sad people. Like, now I am taking her side on this. Like, you've known this person a month. Like, how much
Garrett,
emotional
it's not.
responsibility do I
She
have?
was there for you when you were crying on the floor. You are soul bonded now.
That's small town shit. In New York City, people are gonna spit on you. They're gonna step on you. She hasn't even stepped foot in the meat and fire district. This city's gonna eat her alive.
I'm just saying, like, I I've had a roommate who was too much with the fishing for compliments and always being like, "I
Mhm.
look so fan in this," so that you then have to say, "No, no,
You're
you
so
look great.
pretty.
You're so pretty," and it's like, this is the 100th time you've made me say this. But like, we don't get that Hetty has said anything like this before. She's clearly in an emotional state. She knows you're gonna throw her out of this apartment,
Mhm.
and you don't have a single nice thing to say to her. Not even an "I'm sorry," by the way, for kicking you out soon. Nothing.
Hetty
But
does,
anyway.
like, even as she slips into insanity, does show still signs of, like, being a good bro.
Mhm.
So Allie has to go to Stephen Tobolowsky's to discuss the final pieces of her program and everything. And he loves how everything's going. She gets there and he's like, "There's actually one thing left before you get paid." He's basically like, "I'm going to fuck you."
Yeah, you're gonna give
Uh,
me a beach or we're gonna fuck. It's gonna be something because that's the
S-
final step.
Stevie Tobes is coming tonight, is what he says,
Mm.
and you're not getting paid until then. So at this point, full hate Stephen Tobolowsky, piece of
Oh,
shit.
absolute like horrible person. And Allie comes home and she confides in her roommate about like how horrible this was and how upset she is and how this is ruining everything. And
For the
Hetty,
record, nothing. She punches his dick and
she
runs
punches
away.
him in the dick and runs away. She's weird about that though. Later, she's like, "Ugh, I felt like something else took over my body, and I can't believe I did that." And she's like upset that her self defense mechanism kicked in and she saved herself
Mm.
from getting assaulted. Like, why are you mad about that? Be mad that you were getting assaulted, not that your body thankfully protected you.
Hey, your brain thinks it had just happened. I think it's fine for her to like feel different ways about what had happened. Like,
That's fair.
give her time. Give her
That's
time. It was a
fine.
lot.
But Hetty then is like, "But what about how you gonna make him pay?" And she's like, "Well, the software will self-destruct if he doesn't pay me." And she's like, "No, no, 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 no. How are you going to make him pay?" And then she
Hey,
immediately calls his house and blackmails him.
baller. Like, she was cool.
It was so
Like,
cool. She is such a good friend. That is a bro till the end. What a good person. She blackmailed that guy for you so that he won't ruin your reputation around town and so that he's not going to like make a thing out of this because you've just threatened to tell everybody including his wife. Perfect.
but this is the first time though that we kind of get a sense of her personality disorder. Because you know, a lot of these fucking movies from the 90s are like people with borderline personality disorder. And this is the first time that she goes from being like this mousy,
Mhm.
like kind of mousy or angry to being like confident to do something to fuck somebody over, other than like obviously throwing the fucking dog out the
Dog out
window.
the window. You don't think that was showing enough initiative? Is that not enough for you, Garrett? Enough confidence?
It was confident, but in the wrong way. And this was confident in like a more correct way. Still
Mm.
illegal. Like it's still blackmail.
It's not any more
Well,
illegal than what he did.
right. I am on her side.
Absolutely in the right. And Allie's like, "Boy, I hope I never make you mad."
Yeah.
And spoiler alert. So, then she gets the identical haircut.
Yeah. So Hetty is my treat. Let me take you to a hair
Please,
salon. We're going to
please.
pamper you. You're going to lay there. They're going to rub the fingers in your hair. Maybe you're going to get a color, a dye. I don't know.
It's gonna be nice.
But Hetty walks down the stairs with the craziest surprise, which is surprise, we both look like Simple Jack now, and I'm wearing the same clothes as you, the exact same clothes. I put these clothes in my bag so I could change upstairs and fuck you up when I walked down that we
Mhm.
look the same. I love when they look the same in this movie. This movie kicks into a new gear. We go places.
We do go places, and there are multiple times where I had to like check and be like, "Wait, which of them?" Like I genuinely would get them mixed up. Um, but yeah,
I love
Allie kind of makes it clear that like, hey, that's not cool. And I feel like she should have been a little more communicative, here and been like, actually, that kind of makes me uncomfortable. And I feel like really you need your own style. Like, I don't think this hair color even suits you that much. Why don't we try to find you your own thing? Because it's just like, I don't like that you're kind of taking my thing.
making new friends in your 30s is hard.
It is. Thank you, Garrett. So
But
instead, she goes and takes a shower, and Allie goes through all her shit again and finds all of her secrets in that convenient shoebox full of secrets that we all keep in our closet.
yeah, the
Hey, Garrett,
secrets,
what's in
the
yours?
my secret box, I
Hmm.
don't
You got some
have one. I mean,
newspaper clippings, I'm
well, at
sure.
this point, everybody's secret box is digital, right? Like it's like a little secret hard drive of a
it's
little something that,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
labeled under something that nobody would look at, like taxes 2021.
you got to go more boring than that. You have
More
to
boring than
do some.
taxes?
Yeah, somebody could click that. It has to be something that seems like some nonsense in the hard drive that was just like docx file do
Mm, that's
folder
where
one, like where you're just like that doesn't mean anything. It's obviously not going to be in there.
and that's where you keep your newspaper clipping about your dead twin, Garrett? Is
About your
in
dead twin, yeah, some old nudes you've taken of yourself,
Mhm, mhm.
some blackmail information you have on
Other
others.
people, yeah.
Um, but in this, the movie did open with something we didn't mention. It's a really quick thing of two twin girls putting makeup on each other and putting lipstick on. And we find out in this box that that Hetty is a twin. Her other twin died when they were 9 in some sort of accident. That's all we
Seems like
really
a
know.
drowning. And she had said earlier that she had a twin, but the twin died like in uterus, that she was stillborn. And now Allie finds out that in fact, they were 9 when that twin died. And she also finds in there the letter from Sam that she never received. Um, so she's a little freaked out by this.
But Hetty is getting ready to head out the house. and
Yeah.
Hetty leaves and she follows her very fucking closely. Like
Yeah.
so closely on a completely empty street that if she had turned around one time, she's right there.
Yeah.
But I love this scene. These are the places we need to go in these type of movies. She walks down an underground tunnel where
Yep,
we
yep.
immediately hear Gregorian chant set to drum
Yes.
beats. And I'm
Yes.
just like, get it going.
Fuck
This club is
yeah.
going to rule. And this club does rule.
We all know something in Latin.
I don't understand this club. It is a club of people in leather. People are
Mhm.
being sexual. I
Mhm.
don't think that it's a gay club, but I don't think
No,
that
it's
it's
an S&M
not.
club. It's an S&M
Th-
club. There's
okay, but there's a lady as she's walking through that looks at her, and it's almost as if they recognized each other, but it's
because
not.
she thinks that it's Hetty.
Oh, that it's
Because
okay.
Hetty's been coming here and pretending to be Allie.
So this has gone on a lot longer.
So when
But
this
how long?
girl
She's had
is,
this haircut for 3 days.
if that, it looked like she just got it that day, honestly.
That was
But
the vibe, yeah.
yeah. So she sees Hetty sitting at the bar and she looks so confident, so happy. She's wearing identical clothes and the identical haircut, and then the bartender calls her Allie. And it's clear that Hetty has been pretending to be Allie at this weird S&M club place.
And the
Um
dude she's with looks exactly like Steven Weber.
yes, she's also
But
flirting with a guy who looks just like our favorite philanthropist, Sam.
sorry, yes, philanthropy Sam. Uh, but I have to ask you this. So there, it is fine. It's an S&M club. People like to get dominated, whatever.
Mm?
I'm confused about there was a man in a cage, and
Mhm.
I don't think he was dressed in S&M stuff, but he like wasn't dancing or anything, but he like reaches out and strokes her face. What's his
Mhm.
job? What is he naughty? Like, what did he do to get in the
I think
cage?
I think he
He's
was
decoration?
naughty. No, he was naughty and he got put in the cage and he's reaching out cuz he wants to do sex things, but he's not allowed cuz he was naughty.
All right, that's all the explanation I need.
Right?
I wanted to go. This club looked fun.
It did look like a lot of fun. The sick beat with the Gregorian chant was really lovely. And honestly, I feel like Allie vastly overreacted to this. Hetty got her hair done and new clothes, and she wants to go out to a nightclub. I don't think it's that weird.
No, it's not a crime.
Is that a
It's
crime? Hmm.
no.
She goes home to like tell a gay best friend upstairs everything, and he's like, "Call the police." And I was like, "Call the police for what? Do you know what one crime she has committed so far, Garrett? She opened someone else's mail."
That is true. That is true,
Mm.
and that is a federal offense.
Which I feel like if you wanted to make the case, like, no, she actually told me to. She didn't want to see mail from this guy because he had cheated on her. Like, if I were a judge, I might let it slide.
Okay. But yeah, in this scene where she's talking to gay best friend,
Hmm.
Hetty can hear them through a vent. And
Yes.
while she had at the beginning when she was having a fight with philanthropy Sam,
Philanther Sam.
philanthropy Sam, like they the neighbor could hear it. So
Yeah.
this is a two-way situation and she hears
Hmm.
everything that's being said. And as this is happening, Hetty is also sneaking into gay neighbor's house. I got so nervous during this scene, Kit, because as they're talking,
Hmm.
before they know Hetty's in the room, it is revealed that he has a cat. Like you actually see the cat.
Hmm.
It is
Hmm.
mentioned before, but now you see a cat and you already know what she did to the dog. And
Hmm.
that was at the beginning of her being crazy. She's like full blown banana balls now. And I was so worried. I didn't know if it was going to get stuck in the garbage disposal and blended up. There was any number of horrible things this woman could have done to this kitty. But instead,
Turns out she's a cat person, I guess.
and kind of like a weak ass criminal, because
Mm.
the gay neighbor's like, hey, I'm gonna get you some help. And then she just gives him the most gentle beating.
He's a little bonk. She just bonks him.
Like, if I'm gonna get bonked, I want it to be like this.
Yeah, that's how you want to get bonked?
It's like a really light bonk, but it did put him out. It almost
It
like it
did.
was like a sleeping pill.
And
It
you
was
definitely think he's dead,
it was a
but
low dosage edible, but it did take him fully out.
yeah, that is the kind of bonk that it was. Allie finds out how to. I don't know how she did this. I guess she does have a computer, and maybe somehow she used that. But somehow she finds how to call uh Hetty's parents back in wherever the fuck, and tell them like, hey, she's doing some weird shit, and I'm a little worried, and you should call back.
But while this is happening,
Yep.
Hetty is sleeping with the phone next to her, just waiting for it to ring. So
Mm-hmm.
Philanthropy Sam calls immediately. Hetty's here. She's like, "Oh, he just got home from his business trip," and she tells her that Allie's gone.
She's
This
sleeping.
scene,
Don't worry
this
about it.
scene, this scene, Kit,
Yeah? You have thoughts?
is amazing. Something like, we've seen a fair amount of sexual assault
Mhm, mhm.
in these movies we've watched, and it's typically pretty upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had never seen a man sexually assaulted
This
yet.
is true. This is new.
And I feel bad laughing. And I don't know if it's just because it's Steven Weber and like I have years of enjoying him as a comedic relief on Wings,
Mhm.
but a man realized that he's being sexually assaulted in the midst of coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the midst of coming, he realizes
Eh,
that that is not his actual fiance. It is the fiance's roommate who looks exactly like her because she apparently got her hair done while you were gone.
Well, she looks the exact same from top down. So he's asleep.
Mhm.
She walks through the front door, takes off her sick silver robe coat that
It's a really good coat.
it's such a good coat. Like that coat, Allie had it earlier in the movie, made note of like, this is a sick coat. This is a
Mhm.
futuristic coat. Pulls it off full nude, climbs into bed. And watching this man like wake up from sex, has that ever like his I mean, it's way worse for a lady than it is a man for
To be
sure.
woken up for sex?
Well, to be woken up as you're having sex as you wake up, like that's
Mm.
absolutely different for a lady than
Yes,
I
and I
hope to
do.
God that hasn't happened to you.
No, it has not, thankfully. I feel like if you have an agreement with your partner that that's an okay thing to do, go for it. Don't do that on someone who doesn't have that agreement.
This guy though is like full asleep.
Yeah.
Like REM cycle is a ticking. He is
Mhm.
in it. And he's just like, "Allie, what are you doing? Oh my." And she just puts his flaccid penis in her mouth.
Mhm.
And like he's still pretty asleep
Mhm.
while this is happening. And he's starting to enjoy it. He's
Yeah.
waking up. And then he looks down. And I mean, it looks like the same simple Jack haircut. So he shouldn't be that surprised. But then he's like, Allie? She looks up and goes, "No, it's Hetty." And then furiously sucks his dick, Kit.
Mhm.
She is going so
Mhm.
hard on it. And he goes, "No, no." And then like he starts to hit his vinegar strokes as he's yelling no.
I'm sorry, his what?
Vinegar strokes?
What the fuck is that?
I'm sorry. It's a thing from the league. Like it's
Oh.
the face you make before you come.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
like you're
and
smelling vinegar as
he
you yeah.
he is incapable of stopping this. And you know what? I'm not going to shame people who have experienced sexual assault for not being, in, especially if you've just been fucking woken up, for not being in the right state of mind to physically stop someone. Um and damn,
There
this
is.
Does he look like he's been assaulted afterwards? Like, the look on his face is haunted.
Absolutely. And there is no time that a man is more useless than when he's coming and about 15 seconds after.
Yeah.
There is nothing like he is fighting as hard as one who's about to ejaculate can,
Yes. Yes, he is.
which is
And
which is a confusing thing, I think. I don't know if I don't know if you could mentally process everything that's happening. But Kate, you're
no.
right. When those 15 seconds pass and like the pure bliss has left him, when the poison's left his body, no one has ever looked more sexually assaulted in one of these movies we've
No.
watched than that man when he rolls over
He
and stares
looks
into the middle distance.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so clear that he is not okay with what just happened on any level. And she's like, haha, I knew you were a cheater, and I'm going to tell Allie that you had sex with me, and she's going to know that, men like you don't change. And he's like, fuck you. I'm just going to tell her myself because, like,
You raped me.
you raped me. Like, they don't use those words, but like it's pretty clear that he assumes that Allie's gonna understand that, like, this was not wanted on his part. And like,
Es- yeah.
it's the 90s, so like, I don't, they weren't real cool about sexual assault back then, for even female victims, but he seems pretty confident that, like, his girl's gonna understand what happened here and be okay with, you know, blaming it on the correct person.
She's
And
been pretty understanding of a lot of things
that's a
thus
good
far.
point. She's been understanding of him doing
A
actual
little
bad
too.
things.
Steven Weber, though,
Yeah.
knocks this movie up like 10 points for me. Like,
Mm.
full erotic numbers go higher
Mhm.
because of something Steven Weber does. So, yes, as he gets up and walks away, and as he's walking, you see his ass and you see
Mhm.
both balls hanging between
Mm.
his legs.
Yes, you do.
Full nuts,
Mhm.
hanging a little low, to be honest. I
You
was actually a little surprised.
It looks like he's gonna flash the camera the way he's getting out of bed and you're gonna see peen, but I didn't. He moves real quick. But the
Kit,
nut sack, oh my god, are you about to show me his nuts? You did not take a picture on your phone. Oh shit, you caught it. You caught the moment of truth. There's the peen. Look at
he
that.
he is. If you pause this movie,
At
and
just
I'm
the
a
right
sick
moment.
fuck, so I did. Kit right now can't see my face
you
through
can
Zoom. She is
only
only looking at Steven Weber's
you
penis.
can only see the penis. You're correct.
And then, just
Thanks
so
for
that
that,
Kit
Garrett.
remembers
Yeah, they
how
hang.
much
Wait, hold that steady. Yeah, they hang low.
I wonder if these are fake balls almost, because they're so thin in the middle with the ball. Like,
well, they are recently emptied.
that's true. That's crazy. That's crazy. This guy shows penis, and
Yep.
honestly, like, he's a butthole away from giving us a hat trick.
and you know what? I'm glad because there's plenty of incidental female nudity in this movie. To have some incidental male nudity feels correct and appropriate.
And Steven Weber was kind enough to bless us with most of him.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
does he get for his troubles? A
Oh,
fucking high heel right in the eyeball, like almost as if it were delivered as a karate chop.
yep. Straight to the eyeball. And now you can frame Allie for murder because everyone saw Allie, quote unquote, leaving the crime scene.
The doorman even says, like, "See you later, Allie."
Yep. So you're fucked. You're
Oh
super
man,
fucked.
this next scene, Kit,
This
I
was
laughed so hard.
which part was it? Is it when which bit?
She, Allie comes home,
uh huh.
and Hetty is in the shower.
Yeah.
And as she's in the shower, Allie looks over and just sees bloody murder clothes.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
bloodiest murder clothes sitting in the sink. And Allie's response is, "I'm not feeling well. Mine always comes when I'm wearing something nice. And I lost it. I was a dolphin on the floor, just
At the idea that she's covering up this absolute like pints load of blood and claiming that it was her period, and that it got all over that dress. It was like, and it's a short dress, so you wouldn't think that. How did you get period blood all over this damn dress? Well,
Oh, she would have been like
you know how it
Veruca
is.
Salt in like Willy Wonka. She got juiced like a blueberry and she is ill.
Who
Like you
hasn't
would
been
feel
there?
ill.
Yeah, who
And
hasn't
it
been there
did
in middle school?
and yeah, like so yeah, she I don't know.
It's really stupid that she even bothered to try to wash it, to be honest, when you know there's an incinerator room just waiting for all your evidence.
Like I feel like this is somebody can look at that and be like, "See? She's on her period and that's
Hmm.
what happened and this is why there can't be a female president."
Yeah,
This is
that's
what
what
happens.
happened.
You one period and she kills the gay neighbor,
Yep, yep.
which in this scenario would be Canada.
That's my favorite gay neighbor.
I love them too. No, I keyed. I keyed.
But yeah, this is also the point where you start to realize just how truly fucked Allie could potentially be, because this girl isn't on the lease and she's been trying to not be seen by the neighbors so that nobody knows that there's a second person living in the apartment. She's using a fake name. It's like she has all identical clothes, and here she is right now re-dyeing her hair a different color. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked. No one's gonna. This girl could
Oh
ghost
yeah.
right now if she had wanted to. If she weren't super bananas, if she had
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to, she could have
Well,
skipped town, and Allie would have gone to jail forever. No
well,
question.
and she's trying to make that happen. She is
Yeah, she
just
wants them to leave together to go all Thelma and Louise and like go on the run together. That's what she wants. Otherwise, she would have just left and been like, "Who's gonna fucking find me? No one knows my name.
yeah.
Who's gonna
Yeah, that's
believe you?
true. At this
No, my weird roommate who dyed her hair to look exactly like me and then wore clothes identical to mine. She did it. Okay, hun, sure.
Well, we find out from the news. She finds out from the news that Philanthropy Sam's dead, and she does some barfing.
Mm-hmm.
And Hetty immediately knows this isn't sick barfing. This is
Mm-hmm.
sad. This is a grief barf.
It's a grief barf. And she also sees then the stiletto with the blood on the heel.
It got in there.
It
It got
got
in
in
there. Like
there.
you can
There's
measure the
brain.
inches from. Yeah.
There's brain in there. Um, so our girl Hetty tapes her BFF to a chair, like you do with your BFF.
Yeah. She has to run some errands. Keeps her in there. Says watch a little tube.
Yeah,
And
she's
I
so
love that we
nice
get
for
some
leaving the
MTV.
TV. Yeah, she leaves the TV on for her and gives her a remote within reach. It's super nice. And then she has the very smart idea, Allie does, to try to get a noise complaint by kicking up the loudest TV channel she can find at the loudest volume so that someone will go get the goddamn super and force their way
Hmm. Doesn't work.
in. No.
She gets back just in the nick of time, which, as far as the way all of that was shot, presented, I loved the turning the TV up, getting that. That was
Mm-hmm.
actually super
It
suspenseful.
was very tense.
Like, this is another one of the movies that is competently shot. And once we get to the third act, the suspense is very good. It's
Yeah.
actually like very effective. They get into an argument and she's holding a blade to her throat. And this is like, oh, it's so
Mm-hmm.
cringy because it's like got the, what do you
It's
call that with the
a
serrated.
serrated
So
knife.
you
It's
see
got all
the
these little
pokies
pokes,
going.
little pokey holes in her neck. Oh yeah.
And even the makeup made it look like those went in a little deep. Like
Yes.
because they have the little blood spots in those. And that's just
Mm-hmm.
such a nice little detail that a shittier movie would have absolutely skipped over.
Yes. And so she's thinking about killing Allie, and Allie says, No, no, uh don't make me leave you. and then
Ellen.
kisses her.
Yeah, finally. See, this is the gay romance we
Finally.
could have had
All this
fucking an
time.
hour and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
You make us wait this long. And honestly, how we get to this point too, because like, after all this, it doesn't she tries to escape through the internet. It doesn't work.
Mhm.
And then she's gonna
They're so proud of themselves. Like, you can book a flight on the internet and
internet.
pay with a credit card. Really?
Yeah, it was a
Um.
really good commercial for the internet. It did make me interested to use it.
Right. And then you see the software over at the what's
Another great Stephen Tobolowsky's
Steven,
house, I'll
yeah,
just say.
I just kept writing him down as Ned from Groundhog Day. But yes, his computers are going nuts because she put in a failsafe that if she didn't get paid, it would delete all the data. And it's like, you have 24 hours to pay. And so he's desperately trying to get in contact with her. And he ends up showing up at the apartment. And I was like, please don't let this fucking creeper be the one who saves the day. This cannot be. This cannot be how this movie ends. It cannot be that this fuckwad is the hero of the hour.
But how great is it though that he is the one that shows up
Mm,
where this girl's here? He did fight her a little bit. And he's like, don't worry, neutralized her.
yeah.
And he is now on top of taped up Allie, which this is the person that could blackmail him.
Yep.
He could have just left and let this murder happen.
No, because his data would have been lost forever.
Oh,
He
what?
needs
He
her.
couldn't
No,
picture
he.
what the fucking Barbie doll with the swimsuit on
No,
looked like? That
it was all the vendor information and all of the like accounts and stuff. This was the accounting stuff that was gonna go away, and he needs that.
Yeah. And then he's like just quickly trying to shove a check for $4,000 in her mouth, like seeing if that'll just make it
Get
make it
it, make
work.
him fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. But no, Ned does not get to save the day. He does not get to save the day, because Hetty once again looking out for Allie. Is like, get the fuck off of her.
Pillow to the face, gun,
Yep.
gun and done.
And that's when we realize who is still alive but Gay Neighbor and the cat, both
That's
alive.
when you see that they're in the bathtub, there is a moment where you're like, oh fuck. Because the cat also looks dead. Honestly, the cat looks more dead than he does.
Yeah, I mean the cat.
The cat really never moved, but they're both fine.
Yeah, the cat was just like very sweet, sleeping on her owner's passed out body, very, looking out for him. So then Gay Neighbor gets to save the day. I have to have you help me parse this line. When she explains to, I believe she's explaining it to Graham, the Gay Neighbor, about like how she's actually been good for Allie this whole time. She says, I never met anyone so scared of being a woman. And like, as if, look at one of all the benefits I gave to Allie and how I helped her and how she shouldn't, want me gone from her life. What the fuck do you think she meant by that statement?
I actually said the same sentence out loud in the first 5 minutes when I saw that haircut.
So scared of being a woman that she has a terrible bowl cut. Oh, Garrett. Well, now it all makes perfect sense.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, that's all. It's all you've tucked it away. Like, done. We're good. Like, because the only things I can think of were like, she wasn't comfortable. She wasn't comfortable with the idea of getting revenge on the guy she punched in the nuts and getting the blackmail. Like, she didn't like
And to
that
just
idea.
leave Sam like she's getting
Yeah.
walked on. She
Mm-hmm.
even at her job, like she
Mm-hmm.
took a lower amount of money when she's worth more than that.
Absolutely. And so it's sort of interesting, and it shows that like if the two of them had actually gotten together, they were both actually good for each other. they were both helping build each other's confidence up. One can help with the style and the confidence and how you look, and the other one can help with the confidence to like stand up for yourself at work and don't let yourself get bullied by a client and blackmail people who are going to attempt to sexually assault you. Like, they could have
What
been
though
good together.
happens? I agree. There is a version of this movie that's a lovely lesbian romance,
Mm-hmm.
but she still has a mental disorder, which I think this movie does do too much, and that I didn't need all of that. I like the simpleness of she fucked her over and now she has to look for a new place and I'm going to ruin her life. I didn't need the twin. I
Oh,
didn't need the
yeah.
mental disorder. It's just a
Yeah,
lot extra tacked on.
it
But
is.
because of that mental disorder, something else was going to eventually trigger this. Like it was a
Mm.
doomed relationship or friendship anyway because of who she is.
No, maybe she could have
But
gotten some help. She could have gone into therapy as they, raised their dog together. Hmm?
yeah, but at what point when she there's too many lies. There's too many lies. She has a dead sister who she blames herself for, but it really isn't her fault. We kind of find like we never
Well,
find
are
out that
are
she
you
did
worried?
it.
Are you worried that Hetty's parents are going to show up to their lesbian commitment ceremony because it's 1992 and they don't have gay marriage, and they're going to reveal that she has her name is not really her name? I do not think so.
She's gonna find that box eventually. She's still got a trinket box hanging around the house.
Well, that is a big mistake. Should have thrown that in the incinerator room, to be honest.
Yeah, we've all at this point we've incinerated the doubles of the clothes. We
Mm-hmm.
have a little we're heading down to the incinerator room finally.
Yep.
Like this deep into the movie, we're finally heading down there. We have a great elevator fight.
Yeah, oh, the elevator fight is very good. Especially since they established that this elevator kind of sucks and they really make good use of the cramped space for this fight choreo. I very much enjoyed it.
It's my second favorite elevator scene next to Fatal Attraction. The like
Mm,
sex fight.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Um so
I
now
loved this whole end finale.
yeah.
Other like I it was done like an action movie more than a slasher. Like it goes back and forth between slasher and action movie.
Absolutely. And never once is it like a serious drama thriller. It is only action or slasher. And oddly enough, Allie, our protagonist, is the one you think is dead, and then the camera comes back and she's not there anymore. She is Freddy. She is the one who you thought was dead and is not actually dead. Which I
Oh yeah,
think goes
she's
back to our reframing of this movie as being from Hetty's
she's the bad.
perspective.
I agree. And I love that she ends up in the ducts. She throws a rat at Hetty, and
I
Hetty doesn't
know,
know she's
right?
got rat scratches on her face. Hetty ends up with like, I know what you did last summer hook and is chasing her around. Thinks she's in this like little armoire thing, opens it up. She's not there. And Allie, in the craziest fucking move that this particular woman could do,
Absolutely.
flies from upside down, hanging by her knees, stabs her in the back with this pokey thing she stole from the elevator earlier.
Hmm. She pops out of the fucking ceiling to stab Hetty in the back, which I want to point out is not usually the way the good guy ends a fight scene.
Mhm.
It's not usually how that goes.
Well, she did stab her in the back, like metaphorically, earlier
Ah,
in the movie by getting back with her ex after
and
the
then
promise.
yeah, and then getting her out, like kicking her out of the apartment. Absolutely, she did stab her in the back metaphorically, and then later literally.
I was so stuck on the incinerator though, this whole movie where I was convinced somebody's getting incinerated. And at this point, I said, okay, well, you can kill somebody in self-defense, but I don't know how the court looks at incinerating somebody in self-defense.
I
I was like, "You've already
don't.
stabbed her." I thought she was gonna get, kicked into the incinerator.
Yeah, that would have been fucking rad, but no, we did not get that. The incinerator was a looming threat, but but not ever actually used on a person, only for
That
evidence.
payoff, I didn't get the incinerator payoff I had really
Really
set
wanted.
my heart on from the
Hmm.
beginning. I think there's a better version where she swings from the pipe, kicks her in the ass, and she dives forward into the incinerator. But
Do
the
you
incinerator
know
hole's so small.
how
They set
much that would fuck her though? Like, then you've gotten rid of the body of the real killer.
you do
Now
need
what?
that. Yeah. Well, I they didn't satisfy my incinerator needs, but I was overall happy with what happened. Yeah, and that is I mean,
Then
like, it ends with this little monologue where she's just like, "And I forgive Hetty."
yeah. Yeah. If you don't forgive yourself, how the hell are you gonna forgive anybody else? Something about that. It's a weird little last minute like, and here's the moral of the story. And bye.
It felt like, I don't know what to do with this, and I don't wanna just roll credits.
Yeah, I mean, so many movies though that we've watched are perfectly happy to be like, and then the police show up. End credits. This one did not want to do that. This one wanted to leave you with a little something to think about. You gotta forgive people and forgive yourself. That's that's beautiful.
Not Yeah, some of these, you're right, they don't give a message. They're like, "Here you
Mm-mm.
go, just in case you needed one." I did love this movie, though. I as much as I am taking the killer's side, I
Absolutely.
think it was a competently made movie. It was super fun, and it's not even one you really have to goof on. Like, obviously, like, we were joking around taking the killer's side, which at the beginning, fully on her
Fully
side,
on her
and
side, honestly. No, yeah, no, yeah. I feel like they done dirty by her, but it is a good movie. It's a little. I like. There were definitely times where I'm like, "There's an hour left in this fucking movie," but I was never
oh, yeah.
bored.
When the knife was at the throat, I thought we were at the end, and I
Yeah,
remember I paused it to look, and I was like, "There are 20 more minutes."
this thing is like the it's like Return of the King, the number of times you think this movie is over and it isn't. Like Ned shows up, the creeper shows up, you think the movie's going to be over. Turns out the gay roommate's not or gay neighbor's not dead. You think the movie's going to be over. Elevator fight. You think the movie like
It's hard, though,
continually
because
fakes you out.
everywhere it went, I was still interested in, and the movie is under 2 hours, so it's not, like, extraordinarily long. I mean, I guess there's, like, a few places you could trim it up, but overall, like, very satisfied on this one. I would even put this one, like, high on the list of movies that I've enjoyed the most that we've watched.
Well, Garrett, would you say though that you were aroused? Scale of 1 to 5.
Steven Weber, Philanthropy Sam,
Philanthropy Sam
and
and his charity dick.
the thing is, he never showed his butt in any of the
Mm.
sex scenes. There was no nudity from him, so you really thought we made it all the way through.
And then he gives it
And
to you, all of it.
the true climax of the movie, it's like shit gets real wild. Like, it goes from animal death to like human death. And I mean, the fact that he's like, "Here's a little penis,
Hmm.
here's my butt, here's my weird balls." Come on. Come on. Is it like, does it actually arouse me? No, like, it's not, I'm not gonna, like, pleasure myself to it later, but
Mm-mm.
I'm so happy it happened. I
I'm so
love
I'm so happy for you and for me. I'm happy for everyone
I
on that.
the sex scenes, like, leave something to be desired, but there's so much
Hmm.
casual nudity, and
Yes.
honestly, the casual nudity sometimes in these is a little sexier. It's,
Yeah.
it's not as forced, it's not as, I don't know, there's just something nice about
Something
that, so
nice
I
about
actually
it.
will, you know what? I'll go 4 out of 5. I'll go 4 out of 5
You
because I
can't
like the
possibly mean 4 out of 5.
why, should I say 5?
No, it should be like a 1. Come on. Do not give this 4 out of 5 for
G
like 2 or 3 casual nudity bits. Come on. Have higher
I had a huge
standards.
I had a huge crush on Bridget Fonda
Mm-hmm.
in junior high because of the movie Jackie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, I was a coming of age movie kid. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a big one. So even though I'd already seen her in that, that's still fun. And then this one, it's not even in sexual context other than the masturbating scene, which was quite hot.
It was pretty hot.
Um,
I'll give you that.
and I think we've established from the beginning of this podcast that a dude has to at least show cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Weber went above and
And
beyond
beyond
with
the Call of
balls
Duty. Yeah.
and peen.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Like maybe I would have given it a 3, but he deserves a star on his own for doing what most leading men won't do in these movies.
Listen, I can give the guy props and still say though that I was not aroused because I wasn't. I got like a
19
1 out of this, like a 1 for
but
the
take yourself
masturbation. A little bit of there was some nice casual nudity. That is very well shot. It's well lit. It's pretty. It looks good. No, I'm not putting it above a 1. I I I cannot go with you on this
no,
journey.
go with me on this. You have to hop into a time machine with me.
Mm-hmm.
Go to 1992.
Okay.
Wings is a hit show.
I've never watched
Steven
that.
It's a great show. There's actually there's Frasier crossover episodes where
Oh, that's
Frasier
nice.
exists within the Wings universe. Uh, it's a funny show, and Steven Weber's great in it. So that's why, like Thomas Hayden Church started on Wings. Tony Shalhoub started on
I
Wings.
don't see how that's supposed to.
Monk isn't showing.
You just keep saying like Tony Shalhoub as if that's gonna turn me on. No, it isn't.
We gotta find. I'm sure Shalhoub has shown me something in a movie down the line, but I'm just saying, Seinfeld wasn't showing me cheek. No, no. At the height of Wings, not even, I guess not the height, it went a lot of years, and this is like 2 years in, but he's a big star. He's a big TV star. And his jump to film, he showed us his penis, he showed us his balls, he showed us his butt.
Look,
He probably would have shown his hole.
if you want to give him a gold star, we can give him a gold star, or a special, award from our podcast. But I'm not rating it any higher. I simply won't. I'm sorry. You want to give him a special, above and beyond the Call of Duty sticker? Go for it. I'm not changing my
Do I
vote.
need to pull the picture up again? Do you need to see? I wish I could share these to the Instagram. I'm going to show you again.
You cannot. This is not Instagram safe. Damn it. You can show me. Garrett, you can put this man's dick in my face as much as you want. Look at that.
Oh, and there's
No.
butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm. It's not doing it. I'm
Look,
sorry.
full pubes, full bush.
You can put that penis in my face as much as you want. Shockingly, like most women, I'm not just turned on by you showing me a picture of someone's dick.
All right, move on.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this.
I hate doing that because I feel like I should fight for his hog harder. I feel like he did a public service.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't do it. Do you think that it was because he was a TV star? And that, like, because it was like, being a TV star back then was a little shameful. Like, it's not as big of a deal now, like where movie stars go to TV, but back then, like, making the bump from TV to movies, do you think
was
that
much harder? Yeah.
Yeah, do you think the director, Barbette, which I thought was a woman until I saw a photo, looked like a very stern German man? Do you think he's like, no, you will show your penis. You will show your penis to the world, and the world will love your penis. The world, you won't be on
barely
Wings.
even see the penis unless you pause the movie at just the right time. I did not see it until you showed it to me. Because I'm not.
Do you
wet.
even care about doing this podcast?
I do. I'm just not gonna change my goddamn rating. You cannot bully me into this.
Have you not paused any of these movies to try and get a little extra treat?
Of course I have. Just not on that guy, because I didn't have this special connection to him that you do.
We'll watch Wings next time we're together, and then we'll come back and we'll give it another try. We'll see if you rescore.
It's not gonna
All right,
change.
move
It's
on.
all right. Were you thrilled? Scale of 1 to 5.
I was. I think that the serrated blade to the throat was good. The
Mhm.
dead dog was like
Oh
absolutely
my god.
unexpected. Like,
And
yeah, we
horrible.
saw
No,
her
it
kick
wasn't
it.
unexpected. We knew that dog was doomed. Come on. That
I
dog
mean,
had
we saw her
boiled
kick
bunny
it, but
written all
like,
over it.
but that mode of just like 12
Oh,
floors
yeah.
down and splat,
Yeah,
that's
that was fucked up.
brutal.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like when you and then they showed it, like, you don't the death is off camera, but like the corpse is laying
Is
there.
on there. Yeah.
I think the final act is just really well done too, like the MTV thing.
The number of
I don't know,
times,
I'm
yeah, that she almost gets out of this danger but doesn't. It's very tense.
it's kind of hard for me to not rate it high. I do kind of want to go 4 again.
That's what I was gonna think actually, is that I was gonna give it a 4. See, we can agree on some things.
Okay, I do think that's fair. I think that that bit is well done. It honestly made me kind of want to read the book.
All right, and would you ruin your life for, you know what? I'm going to say, would you ruin your life for philanthropist Sam? Because it is the fact that she takes back philanthropist Sam that sets all of this in motion and ruins her life. So, is it worth it to ruin your life for his charity dick?
The version of the character that we've created in our head, yes. Like our our fictional version of a fictional character. Yes, I would ruin our life for him. But real life, like the character that I am presented with, I mean, he's laughably fucking terrible. Like,
Mhm.
I that's so funny though to be like, she was sad. Like,
What did you want me to do? Did you want me to
that's
not fuck her? She needed it. She was
that's
sad. She missed me. She's depressed. It was
that's
an
so
accident.
funny. That's so good. I mean, no, I'm not. But Steven Weber, like your dick, like your balls.
Are you ruining your life for that dick and balls, Garrett?
I don't know.
Are you?
He seems like he's down. Steven Weber though, not philanthropy.
Yeah, not philanthropist Sam. The man's a
And don't even
giver.
ask me about that simple jackass haircut. You know it's not happening.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not ruining my life for any of these people, I'll be honest.
Yeah, maybe the neighbor.
Yeah, you know what? I would, but it wouldn't ruin your life to be with him. He seems like a perfectly lovely guy. He's got a cat. He has a very nice apartment, way nicer than hers in terms of
Hmm.
decoration. Like,
Especially for an actor.
yeah,
His oh man, his decorating, he had some great shit in that apartment. There was a crazy
absolutely.
painting over his bed that looked like maybe he's into magic, which is a little bit of a red flag to me. But
hmm
mm,
I want to point out he had an actual bed frame, not just a mattress on the floor. So that's already like some points in his favor.
okay. Man, we're so deep into this episode. It's gone so long. Like, I'm sure we'll cover another movie at some point with somebody with a personality disorder. But
Hmm.
have I ever discussed on the show yet? I honestly don't remember that I did have a bipolar roommate.
No.
I got appointed a roommate. Like it was a situation where there were four of us going to stay at a place. What somebody dropped out so last minute that they just like shoved a rando in with us, and he was schizophrenic, bipolar, and off his meds. But
Oh
that's a story for
no.
another time
Oh,
because
that's tantalizing.
I know if we had not gone so long, I would have absolutely told it. But we'll definitely cover a schizophrenic, bipolar person at some point in one of these, and
It is a
we'll
common trope in the genre, I would say.
yeah.
That is handled with varying amounts of delicacy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the
Yes.
new listeners. Thanks to all the old listeners. Thanks for telling your friends. Thanks to the YouTube algorithm. Send us an email, predetermined podcast, predetermined. Fuck, that's my other show. Yeah, listen to Predetermined. Erotic Thriller Club at gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Erotic Thriller Club on Instagram.
It's on the socials. Go look for us. We're there.
Thank you for listening. We love you. Punch Tobolowsky's dick. Look at Steven Weber's dick. We want to eat you naked. We want to shake you naked and eat you alive.
You want to give that one more go?
I like where it went.